Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the No Cap recap of the new Oak Island companion show series, Tales from Oak Island, Season 1, Episode 3, called The Secrets of Sir William Phipps. Originally aired December 3rd, 2024. The show will likely not contain any breaking news on current events, but could shed new light on Oak Island's history and previous discoveries, as it does provide new interviews with people that appear on the show and other historians not tied to the show. I recap the main show late Tuesday nights, and this show a day or two later. There's a link to my Oak Island playlist in the upper right. Let's get into it. Do 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 do. Previously, on the Curse of Oak Island, people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 229 years. The Lagina brothers frequently host researchers on the island to get their theories and any information they may have concerning the who, what, when, why, where, and how of Oak Island. In 2021, Scott Clark visited with a theory that could explain the high silver readings in the water testing. Sir William Phipps was one of the most successful treasure hunters of the 1600s. He was the finder of the Concepcion Spanish galleon shipwreck. That ship was part of the treasure fleet and sank in 1641, overloaded with silver and other treasure from South America. Spain sent people to find it, but all failed. Phipps finally found it in 1687, 40 years after it sank, and 6 years after Phipps initially tried to find it in 1681. Phipps found it off the island of Hispaniola, now known as the Dominican Republic, 7 days after he arrived, when one of his divers found a cannon and then silver coins. The treasure weighed in at 34 tons and was worth $50 million in today's currency when he delivered the first load to England. For his efforts, Phipps was given knighthood by King James I and became the first American-born person to receive that honor. Mr. Clark began his slide presentation named the Phipps-Belcher Theory. On Phipps' second expedition, he was gone for 8 months, but delivered only 1/20th the amount of his first haul. Phipps told the king that the locals had picked over the site. Scott Clark thinks that he secreted some of the Concepcion treasure to Oak Island. Scott Clark came across a 1701 map titled The English Empire in America. The map was published 13 years after Phipps' second expedition in 1688. Scott points out 2 interesting things on the map. Sir Will Phipps, spelled with 2 P's here, and several sources on the internet, so not sure which is correct. Then it says plate rack. Plate meaning silver and rack meaning wreck. And secondly, La Plata, meaning the silver right where Oak Island is. They show this map on the show, but it isn't very clear. It's not highlighted to show you where Oak Island is, so I included this map for more clarity. As you can see up here in the upper left, it's Port Royal and Annapolis Royal, which is the name of it now. And it's basically southeastern, where the red flag is here, is where Oak Island is. That is 2 hours drive time away. After that second visit to the Concepcion wreck site and returning to England with far less treasure than expected, Phipps went back to America, where he eventually became the first royal governor of the province of Massachusetts Bay in 1692. In 2021, geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner contacted the Laginas after his sister, a Curse of Oak Island fan, told him that he could help solve the mystery. In addition to scientifically proving that the swamp was man-made and is only 300-ish years old, he informed the team that they could test the water in the money pit area for silver content. At the start of the following season, he told the group that he could also test for gold content. The good doctor found high levels of both metals. Back to Scott Clark's research, he found a letter that mentioned Captain Andrew Belcher, a Massachusetts trader that was appointed as William Phipps's assistant for his second trip to the Concepcion. The letter was dated a short time after they returned to Boston. It says that Belcher was caught trading with pirates and had not only his ship, but Phipps's ship as well. The letter also says that they burned their ship at Port La Barre, which is not far from Oak Island. In 2019, while metal detecting in the swamp, Gary found an iron strap or bracket that blacksmith Carmen Legg said was off of a sailing ship and it had been in a very hot and sustained fire. Adding more intrigue, Andrew Belcher was a Freemason. Coming back from commercial, there is this incredible shot of Oak Island. Going back to the 1795 discovery of the money pit, many people involved were Freemasons, including discoverer Daniel McGinnis, investors, searchers, and workers. Most notably, those include eventual President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, pictured here in the middle, Gilbert Hedden, Frederick Blair, and Melbourne Chapel. Of the current group, there's historian Charles Barkhouse and master diver Tony Sampson. Scott Clark is a 33rd degree Freemason. Freemasons have many rituals and symbols used by the Knights Templar, and many believe the orders to be related. There have been quite a few Templar/Masonic finds on Oak Island, most notably the lead cross found in Smith's Cove and scientifically proven to be from a Templar mine in southern France. And the letter G carved into a rock, which represents the divine creator or architect of the universe. Belcher's son Jonathan is known as the first American Freemason. The man-made swamp could also very well have Templar Masonic ties due to its triangle shape, as well as feature the also man-made Eye of the Swamp. The triangle and all-seeing eye should be familiar to anyone who has seen a United States dollar bill. In 2019, after draining the Eye of the Swamp and excavating, there were placed conical rocks packed with blue clay. That was also found in the original money pit shaft covering a fourth platform of oak logs at the 40-foot level in 1804. Since the blue clay is thought to be used to block out water, perhaps that means that treasure was not in the down direction they kept digging, but to the side at 40 feet, as per Gretchen Cornwall's theory. Dr. Spooner proved that the eye was man-made by finding a disturbed layer between the glacial till and the swamp floor. Organic matter retrieved from a core sample in the disturbed area, carbon dated to 1680, which matches Phipps's treasure hunting activities. Adding to the preponderance of circumstantial evidence, one of Jonathan Belcher's brothers was one of the first lot owners on Oak Island. Jonathan's son, a junior, became a judge and acting lieutenant governor of Nova Scotia. Jonathan Jr. had Charles Morris, pictured here, survey Oak Island in 1762 and divide it into 32 4-acre lots. But none of the other 350 plus Mahone Bay Islands were divided into lots. All of the Belcher descendants mentioned, as well as Mr. Morris, were Freemasons. Narrator Robert Clotworthy ponders the likelihood that they knew of the money pit's existence at least 33 years before its supposed discovery. Team member Doug Kroll says that at the time, The Nova Scotia government wrote into all land grants that any treasure found belonged to the government, not the landowner. In 2023, Scott Clark returned to the War Room with new research connecting the missing PHIPS treasure to Oak Island. PHIPS is pictured here. He found the 1762 map drawn by Charles Morris, the same year that he divided the island into lots. Scott noticed that the A in Mahone and the A in Bay were not the same, and that the A in Mahone looked like a compass and square, a symbol that would be adopted by the Freemasons. If a straight line is drawn from that A, it goes directly to the money pit area of Oak Island. Again, the map was drawn 33 years before the money pit was supposedly discovered. Looking at the map further, he found the same A was used in St. Margaret's Bay on the right of the map. And eventually he figured out that if you draw a circle using those three A's as a guide, it not only goes through the compass rose of the map, but also through Oak Island above it, again at the approximate location of the money pit area. Also on the map is a triple tau symbol, which means a key to the treasure or a place where precious things are concealed. In 2019, axe cut wood was brought up out of the FG12 borehole, and the carbon dating was 1626 to 1680, the same time frame. Numerous other finds, such as several other pieces of wood, an axe, metal spikes, and a pine tar kiln, date within that range as well. After forging an agreement with Fred Nolan and his son Tom, the only lot the Laguna team did not have access to was Lot 5. The previous owner, Robert Young, who bought the lot from Fred, found many interesting things, but relatively nothing compared to what the team has found since acquiring it from his estate. Laird Niven had even looked at the big structure for late landowner Robert Young and pronounced it just a cellar. Upon a closer look with the Laguna team 20 years later, it ended up being a structure that they have yet to uncover all of through the latest episodes. Laird found a latch that ended up being an exact metal match to objects from William Phipp's family estate in Maine. Since then, several other objects found on Lot 5 have also matched. Next time on an all-new Tales from Oak Island episode called Trail of the Templar Cross, airing on December 10th, 2024. The most significant clue to solving the 230-year-old Oak Island mystery may be a lead cross, whose design has been found not only on the island, but all across the globe. And in 2 weeks, on an all-new Tales from Oak Island episode called Decoding the Duke d'Anville, who's one of the Rochefoucalds mentioned on Xena's map. That episode airs on December 17th, 2024. It says, in 1746, a mysterious ship's log was written suggesting that a vast treasure may have been buried on Oak Island by a French admiral who was connected to the Knights Templar. I'll be continuing no-cap recaps of The Curse of Oak Island late Tuesday nights as the new episodes air, and this show, Tales from Oak Island, a day or two later. My Oak Island playlist is in the upper right. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Sempre avanti.